Shout out to everybody out there in the YouTube world. We back live, the Nerve of You podcast, coming back at you on a special day of the week, ladies and gentlemen. We actually took yesterday off because it was a holiday and we wanted to chill. But we'll be back at y'all Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday of this week. And it's all good, man. I'm up here with the co-host I love to do the most. We got Rose in the building, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey.
And man, we got some good topics, man, for the night. Y'all see the thumbnail, y'all see the title. All I need y'all to do is hit the like button on your way in, and we gonna run it up, man. Cam Newton always finds himself in the news. Cam loves the attention, you dig? For a lot of people, this situation actually came out last week about Cam Newton's comments. He made some comments about women, about, bad bees of the world, bad bitches, and all of that. And we're going to get into all that. You know what I mean? I'm going to give my point of view. You know what I mean? We got the co-host with the most roles. She going to give her point of view. And we're going to get into it. And the other part of this live stream, I thought it would just be, a good comparison because I want to know, particularly for black men, right? In the black community, a lot of black men feel like you either got to be Russell Wilson or Cam Newton. So my question is Cam Newton the alpha male and is Russell Wilson the simp? That's my question, but that's the second half of the live stream. Hopefully we'll have time to really get all into that. Shout out to everybody that's joining us. The Nerve of You podcast, man. Hey, y'all follow me on Instagram at CBoogie Productions. If y'all want tons of content, live streams, all type of stuff, y'all go in the description box, check out my Patreon, and you'll get all the old content. I got 3-4 years worth of content. Y'all check out the Patreon. And also, we have the self-improvement virtual version on May 7th, Saturday, May 7th at 3 p.m. Eastern. Y'all can sign up for the virtual self-improvement summit. It's gonna be pretty good, man. But I'll get into that more at the later end of the podcast. But we're gonna jump right into it. Cam Newton, had some real salacious comments that made a lot of women very upset. He was like, "Yo, Cam said, I just got a feeling he had a little, schmug, Cam is a real schmug type of dude. You know what I mean? He's just one of them kind of dudes that just." You either gonna love him or he gonna rub you the wrong way. I just got a feeling in his mind, Cam was like, yo.
Yeah, he rubs me the wrong way.
Cam was like, yo, bad bees of the world, they don't know how to cook. They don't know how to clean. You know what I mean? All they want to do is run their mouth. They don't know they role. And then he also said some other comments. Cam Newton said that he was raised in a 3-parent household. I was like, wow, what's going on? But he said, his mom, his dad, and his grandma. And Cam said, I know what a woman should be. Cam said a woman should be able to handle her own while catering to her man. We're going to get into all this stuff. Cam has some very salacious comments that a lot of women didn't like. I got a little issue with Cam myself, and I'm going to start with this. You know what I mean? For one, I'm going to start in this place right here. First, I gotta agree with the bad B comment. You know what I'm saying? A lot of women, and I'm just assuming Cam was talking about the bad B comment in terms of being a wife or long-term girlfriend or something like that. Anything permanent, not just having sex. So I feel like I could agree with that. A lot of women these days think that is all about the looks. You know what I mean? As long as I look good, I ain't got to do nothing else. And there are some men in the world that just want a trophy wife. If you look at a lot of athletes, a lot of entertainers, or maybe, older men with money, you know what I'm saying? Maybe they've been divorced or whatever, and they just want to spend the rest of their years on earth humping up and down on a young tenderoni. I mean, let's just call it what it is. You know me, I don't really mix my tongue. I'm just gonna call it what it is. You know what I mean? Because if you don't believe me, you always got to look at a dude's first wife. So if all of a sudden you got an older man with bread, right? Mm-hmm. And you know what I mean? Let's say, he's mid 50s, almost 60 or whatever. And he all of a sudden he want a young tenderoni. Look at his first wife. Clearly there's a disconnect there. But now if his first wife was a young tenderoni, they'd be like, okay, there's a pattern here. But we all know about the midlife crisis. We know that a lot of older dudes, they got the Stella complex. You know how Stella wanted her groove back?
Right.
A lot of older men want their groove back too. I think it's just a natural part of life. You know what I mean? Honestly, I don't really have a problem with it as long as you understand the parameters of the relationship. That more than likely, it's a higher probability that the woman is there for provisions first.
Right.
And I'm just gonna be 100. So back to what Cam was saying about the bad women and all of that. A lot of women these days, I guess modern women, younger women, because this is where most of the issues guys are having are with younger women. Mm-hmm. I don't really care what they say. Younger women are running circles around younger men. That's just the reality of the situation. Younger women, they rambunctious, they wild, they full of energy, and they out here, and their head is in the clouds because they got so many options. You know what I mean? A young girl, let's say 23, 24 years old. I mean, are you serious? So, of course, their head's going to be in the clouds. So, my thing is, that's where the bulk of the issues are happening with men. But a lot of women actually do think that as long as I'm pretty, as long as I look good, I don't have to provide a man with anything else. I don't have to be feminine. I don't have to know how to cook. I don't have to have any type of traditional elements to my personality because I just look good on your arm. Now, break that down as a woman, Rose, because there are some men out here, particularly Cam Newton was in the NFL. A lot of athletes and entertainers, they do want trophy wives on their arm because that's the circles that they run in. Right. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Not all of these guys, but, we see enough of these guys. That's what they want.
Right. They do.
You know what I mean? Then you got other guys, they might have grew up a certain way and they just want maybe a woman like their mom.
Right.
They just want to, I guess, the girl next door pretty soccer mom type. You know what I mean? Because she's pretty too. But she ain't a bad. See, the bad bitch, right? It comes with a flair. It comes with an attitude. You see what I'm saying? It comes with all of that. You know what I mean? I don't know why I think the bad bitch rolling her neck. It comes with all of that. You know what I'm saying? She, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? All that neck rolling and stuff like that. That's more of
with the walk.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Barely can walk in our heels. But that's a lot of bad bees of the world. Now, the girl next door pretty soccer mom, they got a different kind of beauty. They got a different type of essence, but it's up to the man's preference on what he actually likes. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? It's very rare that you're going to get both, right? That you'll get beauty, that you'll get intelligence, and you'll get traditional elements in a woman. That's the trifecta. That's really hard to come by. I mean, we had to be real special. You did. So, what you think about this, man?
I like to believe that when I but yeah. What do I think?
Yeah, what you think about the question?
What I think about the question, I think that a lot of men have contributed to that bad B. I think, it all goes back to sex. I think the more men put sex as the forefront, the more they're promoting the bad bees of the world versus the women, like the girl next door, the quintessential femininity, a feminine woman that's, loving, caring, has the virtues, She doesn't really have like extra sex appeal that the bad B does have. And I think if men, if they keep that as the main thing, then that's what they'll get. And I think right now men are complaining about what they created. Because a bad B, her mentality is kind of like, I know what you want me for. I know you want to experience me. I want what I want. I shouldn't have to do all that extra stuff you asking about. I shouldn't have to cook. I shouldn't have to clean. I shouldn't have to. I say what I want, when I want, how I want. They have that very, you say, rambunctious attitude.
Yeah, very, very rambunctious.
Yes, that I don't give a dang attitude. The Megan Thee Stallions, the Cardi B's, the Nicki Minaj's.
So you saying that because you got a lot of dudes getting some paper, they flying women out. A lot of dudes is going in the club, making it rain, popping all kind of bottles on some BMF type of time. A lot of dudes is buying chicks all type of designer handbags and leasing them vehicles off top. You saying that that's contributing to the mindset of the bad B. I'm just trying to get to the bottom of it. Is that what you saying? Because I would say, yeah, none of this stuff is helping. Okay, for instance, right? If a man is going to complain about the attitude of a quote unquote bad B, then we got to address all of these dudes meeting a woman going right into their wallet. I mean, like, dudes is getting flights and trips and all type of stuff for women off the bat.
I don't even think that's the case. I think that men are just leading with sex, saying like, that's what I want off top. Like they're saying, hey, look at all what I could provide for you if you do that for me. But I'm saying that's the main priority, like nothing else.
I mean, of course, but I'm saying that means to go about getting the sex from the woman, a lot of time is they pulling out the American Express and going hamburger because they got it. You see what I'm saying?
I mean, yeah.
I mean, of course, they not taking their time to vet a woman for 3-4 months to see where her mind is at to figure out if she's good or bad. A lot of dudes is going right to the wallet, buying the woman some red bottoms or buying a woman a Birkin bag. I mean, if we really listen to the music, because a lot of people, I mean, hip hop has misogynistic elements to it, but hip hop is a very tricking culture. If you really listen to the music, man.
They do, but I really don't think that men are tricking like that. I think men are really trying to get over. I honestly do feel like, no offense, but I do feel like those guys are holding on to what they have. I don't think they're giving a lot to the women. I think they're saying, this is what I could do for you.
What I'm saying is, I'm talking about the bad B's of the world. See, when I think bad B's, I'm talking about the women. I'm talking about more the Instagram models, the women that's around the music videos, the women that's around these guys in the VIPs all the time. So you saying these women ain't getting no perks?
I'm saying, okay, the reason why I'm saying that is because Brittany Renner, she said she had to fly herself out to see one of these guys, which is that NFL player that kneel. He bent the knee. He didn't get up from
Kaepernick?
Yeah, him. She said she flew herself out. I don't think they're getting as much as they think that they want, unless and if they are, then they just fall in the hoe category. But I think a lot of women go through the route of, I want to be the girlfriend, I want the commitment, and the guys are like, hey, here's this money, I don't want that.
I disagree, but we can move on because I don't want to spend too much time on it. You know what I mean? I really don't.
Okay.
Okay. Moving on from that, kind of threw me off with that. Hold on. For real.
Okay.
Because I just wholeheartedly disagree with that. Moving on from that, though, Cause I know regular chicks all day that's getting tricked. But I could really go into. I really maybe one day I'll do a live stream and really go into some of these stories I've heard. But I would agree with Cam on that. You know what I mean? Like I say, a lot of chicks, a lot of the bad bees of the world, a lot of women think that they just can be pretty and that's it. But again, you know, where I gotta branch off from Cam is a lot of women, they attach to men that's what they want. These are what these men want. You see what I'm saying? Obviously, obviously, if some men didn't want that, then they wouldn't have it around them. I mean, pretty much kind of like a trophy wife type of situation. I mean, a lot of men want that, period. They don't want anything else. I mean, this guy's on YouTube. All they do is talk about beauty, 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 beauty. They don't talk about a woman's mind. They don't talk about how a woman should raise kids. They don't talk about, you know, traditional roles of, you know, men and women. All they want is a woman that look like this and, you know, obviously is, you know, probably for more sexual reasons than other reasons. And this is where their mind is at. You see what I'm saying? So clearly there's a conglomerate of men that value that over the traditional values that Cam was talking about. Now, here's where I got to get on Cam. Like, here's where I got to come at his throat.
No, I agree. I agree with everything you said. And I was leading to that and I, you know, went around. But I was saying the more that men lead with that, I don't care how they get the sex. I'm saying the more they lead with it, they are going to create more and more women that will turn themselves into sex dolls, turn themselves into that and not care about their virtues.
Well, a man can't turn a woman into anything. A woman has to voluntarily say, turn me into a sex doll. But, you know, for a lack of time today, you know what I mean?
You're right.
But, I mean, because we can't get off the accountability model.
You're right.
You know what I mean? A man can't force a woman to a plastic surgeon and say, here, whip this girl up into a Barbie doll. Don't a woman got to sign off on that herself with her own signature?
You're right. You're right. Just like how women turn men into men that all they care about is getting money with not even thinking about their character. They like the futures of the world, and the men that feel like all they have to do is make money and I don't care about you. I'm talking.
What's wrong with making money?
I'm not saying nothing's wrong with making money. I'm just saying they forgo their character. They forgo all the other things that make up a man.
So you're saying women
have
they overlook a man's character based on how much money he has sometimes.
Yes.
That's okay.
Yes, just like how women turn men into valuing that and that only.
Well, again, I disagree with. I'm always going to stick to the truth and accountability. I get what you're saying. What happened? Let me. I know what you. Let me finish. let me finish. You know, we do create monsters sometime in life. Don't get it twisted. But at the end of the day, I want to say what you was trying to say is, at the end of certain roads in life, the reward is greater. Mm-hmm. So what I'm saying is, in 2022, if only temporary, I ain't talking about long term, even if it's just temporary, there's probably more rewards for a younger woman being a bad bee than being a traditional woman.
Right.
It's probably, and if the reward is going this way, then people gonna go for the perks. That's just human nature. Right. You gotta have a lot of self-control and discipline and things of that nature to stand your ground and stay in your lane and just hope for the best. Men do it too. A lot of women like to chase women that are bees. You know what I mean? Opposed to chasing the traditional woman. And this is where I got to disagree with Cam. Cam made his comments, but I got to hold Cam accountable. Cam Newton, for people that don't know, Cam Newton done had 4 kids by this one woman. I don't even want to say the girl name, but the woman that he was with pretty much his whole NFL career, Cam Newton, and by the looks of her, she was a bad B. You know what I mean? She got the bad B kit. You know what I mean? So Cam now have 4 kids with the girl, never married the girl, all right, whatever, and then decided she wasn't wife material. Now this is the issue that I have. You know, look, why does it take a man 4 kids in? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 kids in, and the woman already had a kid, by the way, when she came into the relationship. Real talk. She had a daughter.
Wow. Okay.
So they got a whole family unit together. Cam and his woman. You decided to take care of this woman's daughter that she already had. It's kind of funny because people make fun of Russell Wilson for taking care of Future's baby, being a stepdad, as if Cam Newton didn't do the same thing. He just ain't married a girl. But you know, this is Black America for you. You know what I mean? We a little backwards. Black men is a little backwards without thinking sometimes. And, you know, we just got a problem with what we got a problem with. But moving on from that, Cam Newton, right? That had 4 kids by one woman. And it took him 4 kids to decide, I don't want to marry this girl. I don't want to marry this woman. Because X, Y, and Z. You know what I mean? She ain't this, she ain't that. And, you know, I said this on a live stream that I did a couple weeks ago. I kind of went in on Cam for a while. I was like, dog, there's something wrong with this picture. You know what I'm saying? It shouldn't take you no children to realize you don't want to be with a woman long term. But I can give you one. You had 1 kid, all right, things happen in life. I give you a mulligan, for real. I got no problem giving a mulligan and saying, you know what, Cam, you had a baby by the girl, things happen. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't in the bedroom with y'all, cool. You realize the girl had some problems. She just wasn't marriage material and you moved on. I can't get mad at nobody for that. As long as you take care of your kids, whatever. But you know, I had 4 kids by this girl. And then when I said it, it was like, oh, you know, Cam met the girl in the club and all. I'm like, I don't care if this woman was a street walking prostitute. Cam Newton had 4 kids by the girl and then decided she wasn't this or that. And that's the problem that I have. That's a problem for me. That is a major issue for me because I'm like, dog, to be honest, man, I think it's something wrong with you. Like, let me flip it. If a woman had 4 kids with a man and then decide that, oh, you know, this man ain't this man ain't that, he's bad for me. Dudes are drag the woman, right? Like, well, you have 4 kids by this man. You have 4 kids for this man. Right. But when the shoe was on the other foot, dudes want to give Cam Newton a pass. And you know what it is, truly? I'm going to tell you why they gave Cam Newton a pass. Shout out to my boy J-Dub. Me and him was having an awesome conversation the other morning. And me and my boy Jay, you know what I'm saying? We was just chopping it up about Cam and other little hot topics. And he was like, dog, we was talking about Russell Wilson too. And my boy Jay was like, yo, Boogie, in Black America, to get your real nigga passport stamped, you got to be ignorant. You know what I'm saying? Like, the reason why in Black America we put down the Russell Wilsons and we uplift the Cams is because everybody want to keep it real, and we kind of stuck in this cultural prison that, quite frankly, I don't really want nothing to do with, because to me, Cam Newton and Russell Wilson pretty much did the same thing, not to a T, but pretty much did the same thing, and dudes still want to shit on Russell Wilson. And that lets me know this is kind of like a personal issue that a lot of people got in the culture that I just can't get with. Truth be told, I really can't rock with it. And this is why I separated myself from a lot of that type of energy in my personal life. I don't even deal with it. You know what I mean? I'm around progressive people these days. I don't even want nothing to do with that element, because I'm going to tell you this, and anybody can come and debate me. There's a reason why Cam Newton will be home on the couch this season and Russell Wilson will be competing for a Super Bowl. There's a major reason. And I would like to think that Russell Wilson's values has a lot to do with that. You know what I'm saying? His commitment to the game. You know what I mean? His studying.
Right.
Russell Wilson just being low maintenance. You know what I mean? Like, you can't pay for that. Cam is a diva, right? That's just what it is. Cam Newton.
He a bad B.
Cam Newton is a female version of a bad B. Matter of fact, give me. You know what I mean? That's why I fucks with Champ. You know what I mean? No, real talk. Cam Newton is a female version of a bad bitch. Look at him. Cam Newton will come dressed like Dapper Dan after his team got blown out by 35 points. And he don't even have the self-awareness to think, man, I just had a bad game. I just lost the game. But he don't care because it's all about his brand. Cam Newton is the bad B of the relationship. So if Cam Newton come across a bad B, they gonna be fighting for position in the mirror.
For the number one spot.
You know what I'm saying? Real talk. So that was a really good point. And I gotta give you, no pun intended, your roses for that, because you know what I mean? I didn't really think about it. The difference between Cam and Russell is Russell Wilson is more of a traditional man, and Cam Newton is the modern day bad bitch. Right. You see what I'm saying? That's a hell of a good point. And you know, Cam, right? Like I say, the first comment, I don't really have a problem with it. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, I agree on many different levels, but I think Cam is a downright starch down hypocrite for saying it. But either way, it seemed like Cam trying to make his way into media now because he home, right? You know what I mean? Hold on. You know what I mean? Give me some. You know what I mean? I want to talk Cam Newton at the crib. He trying to do what we do. You know what I'm saying?
Podcast.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, like, obviously he's a podcaster now. You know what I mean? Dog.
Cam Newton Network.
You know what I'm saying? He's trying to Cam at the crib, and Russell Wilson just went to a new team, new $100 million contracts. He's probably going, 9 times out of 10, going to be competing for a Super Bowl next season, and Cam will be home watching Russell Wilson play. Matter of fact, Russell Wilson already got a Super Bowl. A lot of people, I mean, we should get it. So Russell Wilson got the Super Bowl already. He's trying to get 2. Right. He played in 2 Super Bowls already. He won one, and then they lost one because they went back to back. Now, Russell Wilson with the Denver Broncos, he's probably in the next 3-4 years going to win another Super Bowl. And at the end of the day, it is what it is because Russell Wilson understands life. Cam Newton is all swag, no substance. It's like clips of Cam Newton out there online. Him trying to use big words in interviews, and like he's clearly using them out of context and the wrong definitions and everything. I mean, he's not the. Do you know Cam Newton had a full scholarship to the University of Florida? This was back in the day, right? He was supposed to be the quarterback for the Florida Gators after Tim Tebow went to the NFL. After Tim Tebow left, Cam was up next. Do you understand that Cam Newton went all the way down to the University of Florida and stole a laptop from another football player? Like, this guy is something else. I mean, this is the guy got down there and stole a laptop. You know what I mean? And that kind of lets me know off top, like, okay, that's something off with this guy. Who would go to a majority white establishment, meaning the Florida Gators? You know what I mean? You one of the biggest black guys on campus, right, and you get down there on a full ride scholarship and steal a laptop, and they caught the laptop. He throws the laptop out the window as if they wasn't going to catch him. This is Cam Newton's mindset. Wow. So then he transferred to Blinn College, right? He transferred to Blinn College and somewhere in West Texas somewhere, a little junior college down there, and then he got another scholarship to Auburn. His dad got banned from the campus of Auburn because they took money, which is not out the ordinary for taking money. You know what I mean? These athletes taking money, but most of the athletes don't get caught. There's a reason Cam got caught. So now we back to the character issue. So, you know, Cam went down there. He did win a Heisman, a national championship.
Okay.
And, you know, the rest is pretty much history. Cam had a decent career, but I look how it ended. And as Cam started to dress more funny, his play declined. You know what I mean? He coming through with the neck scarves and the silly looking hats and stuff like that. I mean, if you're going to dress like that, you should be winning football games. I mean, Tom Brady. No, let's keep it about. Tom Brady won 7 Super Bowls. Tom Brady don't dress like that. Peyton Manning won 5 MVPs. Peyton Manning ain't dressed like that. You know what I'm saying? These guys came with their lunch pail and they came to work.
Right.
Aaron Rodgers won 4 MVPs. He don't dress like that. Probably the best quarterback we ever seen. These guys carry their lunch pail and they come to work. Russell Wilson come to work with his lunch pail and he come to work. Cam Newton came for a fashion show. Real talk.
Wow.
I'm just being 100. Like this is, if you really break it down between the cultural prison that black men are in, real talk, and black men are way more diverse than this, but I'm saying the cultural prisons in our minds for a lot of people, you either going to side with, yo, what up, Lofton? Yo, I got to get him today. You either going to side with Russell Wilson or side with Cam. I don't have a problem with Cam, but I got to keep it real. I'm like, dog, let's not act like you crispy clean out here. Cam Newton been a diva his whole career, getting by off his athleticism. And this is another thing, and I'm just rambling. You can stop me anytime, but this is another thing with black men, truth be told, and these athletes. You know what I mean? A lot of people grew up playing ball. We all grew up having fun and stuff like that. But the thing about being an athlete for real, truth be told, you get a lot of perks and you get a lot of passes in life for your dysfunction. And it can turn you into a diva if you can run fast, if you can jump high, if you can throw a football, if you can shoot a football. In Black America, you know, you can make a lot of white men rich. You see what I'm saying? Like, athletes don't understand that they are court gestures to old rich white men.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, real talk.
Yeah.
And this is why these white men make comments saying, shut up and ball. Right. Like, they telling grown men, shut up and bounce a basketball.
That's demeaning.
No.
That's like saying shut up and cook.
Now, here's what they saying.
Like what?
These white men are saying Negro. No. They're not even calling them Negroes.
You know they.
I'm gonna tell you what. No. They definitely calling them the N-word.
Yeah.
They calling them monkeys.
Ah, hell.
You know what I'm saying? Like, they say, I mean, real talk. Anytime they tell you to shut up and dribble a ball, they think of you as a monkey, and they pretty much saying, "Hey, monkey, dribble the basketball, right? Make me some money. Even if you don't make me some money, I'm already rich." Right. Because athletes are only rich to black people. Like, you know that, right? Yeah. Like, real talk. Like, Cam Newton is only rich to other black men. But compared to
the big boys of the world,
yeah. Cam, you know, it's a lot of people laughing at Cam because I'm just being 100. Like, they only rich to other black people because they can look down on their own people and stuff like that. Right. But when it comes to these billionaire NFL owners, you know what I mean? Yeah. It's kind of funny how they talk to these guys. So they say, monkey, look, you bounce the ball, you catch the ball, and I really need you to shut your mouth because in the grand scheme of things, you're not moving the world progressively forward. Like, I mean, and I think athletics are a good building block. Athletics teach a lot of young men valuable life lessons. I get that, but there's no reason that in Black America, we should hold athletes to this standard that they haven't earned. You see what I'm saying? Athletes, besides like Muhammad Ali, Jim Brown, guys of that cloth, I mean, what besides catching the football, what really they have done? And, you know what I mean? But again, you know, I just got to put that out there because there's this misconception in we love celebrities in Black America. There's this misconception that celebrities do so much for the culture.
Right.
Are you serious?
And what's funny is that all of these celebrities, like, you know, P. Diddy and Cam Newton's, like NFL players, they live next to oil field owners. They live next to people that
old rich white men.
White men. Like, it's crazy. I wish that we put more energy and more time into the STEM, sales.
The Russell Wilsons of the world.
You know?
I mean, real talk, because I don't want to make it seem like I'm just going to bash on Cam the whole thing, but this ain't nothing but an extension from a live stream I did a couple weeks ago. I have a problem with it because in Black America, we act like Russell Wilson ain't black. And that's the problem. I don't think you remember, because you're a little younger than me, but there was a time where Will Smith was in Black America around the time he did the movie Wild Wild West and Getting Jiggy with It and all of that, even though he sold like 10 million records. Will Smith was the corny black guy. Real talk. Will Smith was considered the corny black dude, right? Mm-hmm. And Will Smith was doing blockbuster movies every year at the time. Mm-hmm. But they called him corny, they called him this and that, they threw smut on his name and all of that. And I had an issue with that because I'm like, dog, do y'all forget that Will Smith is black? Mm-hmm. Like, so y'all would sit there and put down another black man and call him corny? That I have an issue with this whole mindset that I cannot get with. Will Smith has been a sex symbol. He went into action star, a rapper, philanthropist. He's a book author. Will Smith has pretty much did it all, and he slapped the cheekbones off of Chris Rock. So Will Smith has did it all. This is one of your shining stars of your culture. Right. Dog, there was a time it was President Obama and it was Will Smith. Like, Obama was here, right?
Yeah.
And Will Smith was like right there.
Neck to neck.
Almost neck to neck. Will Smith could have probably ran for president at one time. And probably, if Donald Trump can win it, Will Smith had a slight chance. Right. And dudes was, black men was calling him corny. And I'm like, you know what? Yeah. I understand the problem. And like my man J Dub said, he was like, look, in order to get your black America passport stamped, you gotta be operating in dysfunction and ignorance.
Whatever happened to Kid and Play?
Oh God! Like,
whatever happened to that genre of, you know, you cool, you not
the gangster rap came out.
And
well,
that's
gangster rap came out.
That destroyed.
Well, gangster rap came out because when I was coming up, you know, when I first started coming outside, man, dudes wasn't in the, because before we was old enough to go to the club, we went to house parties. Mm-hmm. Dudes wasn't on the wall mean mugging each other. We was on the dance floor dancing with the young girls, having fun. I can't speak for everybody, but when I was coming up, middle school, high school, until we got old enough to really go to the clubs, excuse me, that was what it was about. We had fun. And now you go out to the club, yo, real talk, this is what you see. Like, you go out to the club, you go to a lounge or whatever, and as soon as you walk in the door, you get a gang of two cool for school dudes on the side, like huddled up. It's 5, 6, 7 dudes, ice grilling the women, mean mugging the women, barely even talking to the women, don't want to buy them drinks. They just there to observe, you know what I'm saying? And anytime you get a dude on the dance floor, like, let's say you get 2 or 3 dudes on the dance floor dancing with their girls or whatever, you get certain little pockets and groups of dudes up in the spot acting like the guys that's dancing doing something wrong. Like, why do y'all even go out these days? But this is what a lot of dudes be on, and I didn't grow up like that. We grew up having a good time. You know what I mean? If y'all came to the last self-improvement summit in Houston, your boy C Boogie, the next morning my ankles was hurting because I was on the dance floor all night.
Right.
Like, this is how I came up. But I understand now a lot of dudes, you know, there's a major disconnect. They're not in sync with the women. It's like, who you think women want to be around? A group of dudes that's ice grilling all night or dudes that's having fun?
Having fun.
I mean, everybody like fun people.
Right.
But again, this is what the game turned into. Let me go read this super chat.
The life of the party. I mean, now it's the death of the party.
That's a good one. DJ813, appreciate that $10 super chat. This is why I respect LeBron. You don't hear no negative things about him off the court. Married his high school sweetheart, stayed out the mix. LeBron James is the prototypical what a black man should mirror themselves as an athlete. LeBron James been married, it seemed like probably, 15 plus years, same woman. No scandals that we know about. Mm-hmm. None of that. Kept a clean card and then put his homies on. You know what I'm saying? Put his boys on, put his boys in position, and LeBron James is into ownership. He ain't really trying to be a slave like Cam Newton. So, I mean, well, Cam Newton's at home, and LeBron James still playing. I just got to be honest because, you know, LeBron James is a lot older than Cam, and he's still playing. LeBron probably played for 23, 24 years, and Cam Newton's at home this season for a reason.
On Cam.
But we're talking about values.
Yes.
You got to understand. So, okay, they can take a dump on Russell Wilson, but you can't take a dump on LeBron.
Right.
So at the end of the day, LeBron James did it. LeBron James did it with flavor. He did it with swag. And look at where he's at. But why is Cam Newton a lot younger than LeBron and Cam at the crib trying to do a podcast?
Right.
I'm just keeping it a buck.
Cam on Cam. So
Yo, Cam Newton's crazy, man. I think something wrong with Cam. I mean, something's wrong with Cam. The guy went to the University of Florida and stole a laptop. I mean, yo, man, look. Okay, Cam Newton was a star quarterback recruit. He could have asked for a laptop. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
It was something in Cam that said, I don't want to ask for a laptop. I got to steal it. Real talk. I'm not going to go to the academic office. I'm not going to go to none of my coaches. I'm not even going to call my parents and say, Mommy, Daddy, I need a laptop. No. Cam Newton decided to steal a laptop from a college teammate. He didn't even steal it from a regular person. He stole a laptop from a teammate on the team. You cannot tell me something ain't off with Cam. Dog, people don't know about sports. On a football team, you in the trenches with these guys. Y'all going to spring practice, 2-a-days, games all the time. Y'all in the trenches. Y'all practice together. Y'all work out together. Y'all go through all this crap. And I'm supposed to be your battle buddy, your teammate, and you stole my laptop. You got to go. There's something wrong with Cam. I don't care what nobody say.
That's that getting over mentality. That's why he could put 4 babies in a woman and say, nah, you're not good enough. And it's so sad. A lot of people, they like to give you what they want to give you versus instead of giving you the best, they just give you the minimum thing that will make you stay. I
mean, truth be told,
from the outside looking in, she looks like she could be a traditional woman, right?
Who?
The woman that he impregnated 4 times. From the outside looking in, from the outside looking in, and she looks like she was what he was talking about in that interview. But what did you do with her?
I mean, look, we have an accountability issue, right? I'm just going to be 100. We have a major accountability issue, anytime a man can impregnate the same woman 4 different times and still able to use her as a scapegoat, and you don't take accountability for your actions, then I just think we have an accountability issue. But moving on, that was the second half to that comment that Cam made. Cam Newton also said, I was raised in a 3-parent household. Mom, dad, and grandma. Cam said, I know what women are. Cam, and I'm paraphrasing here, y'all. Cam said, a woman goes out and handles her business and still caters to a man. Now, here's my issue with that comment. I'm just going to be 100, And this is what confuses me about a lot of people, about a lot of dudes, right? Like women too, you know what I mean? You either want a traditional woman or you want a modern woman. Meaning, if you want a woman to work, handle her business, start up a business or whatever, cool. But obviously, she's not going to be there to put cheese on all your crackers. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, she's not going to be there to wash every sock because she's handling business. Now, if you want a woman that just cater to your every need, you got to set up the provisions and set up an environment where a woman got all her needs met and she can focus on you and your mission. You got to pick one or the other. And honestly, a lot of dudes want a lot of women to be both. You know what I'm saying? And I disagree with that wholeheartedly. Like, look, if you want a woman to just look pretty all day, you should be giving her $1,000 a week to, you know what I mean, keep her hair, nails, feet done, and all that other crap that women got to do for, because beauty costs. You see what I'm saying? Like, you can't have it all in life. You got to pick a lane. And this is one of the problems I see with people. But right now we talking about Cam and his comments. In life, you got to pick a lane and you got to stay in it. If you're a traditional man, by definition, you're a provider.
Right.
Period. If you're a traditional man, by definition, you set up provisions. Look, it's no gray area with this stuff. You know that, right? Like, if you declare that I'm a traditional man, she's like, here's how they get you to. Because I know, you got to understand. I have a doctorate. I have a doctorate when it comes to this Negro. Like, you know that, right?
I do.
I have a doctorate degree. I have a PhD in Negro lingo.
You did a dissertation on that.
Two.
Two.
I did 2 dissertations on this Negro. So, at the end of the day, matter of fact, let me go to reset the podcast. Yo, this is the Nerve of You podcast. Let me welcome y'all, everybody in YouTube world. We talking about Cam Newton, a little bit of Russell Wilson, and everything else in between. I'm here with the co-host I love to do the most. We got Rose in the building.
Hey.
And we just chopping it up, man. We kind of giving Cam Newton a little bit of work. And we talking about his comments that he made that had a lot of women with ruffled feathers. And we just chopping it up. So back to what I was saying, Cam Newton, right? When he made that comment that says a woman handles her business and knows how to cater to a man, I had to disagree with that because you can't drive in every lane. And a lot of dudes is like this, man. If you really dissect what they're saying, they want a traditional woman, but they don't want to be a traditional man.
Right.
That's not how it works. You see what I'm saying? So you want to be a modern man, but have a traditional woman.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And to me, it's like, dog, you driving all over the road in every single lane at that point. Only a traditional man, this is my philosophy, only a traditional man can request a traditional woman. If you're a modern man, get you a modern woman. There's nothing wrong with that, but you got to pick a lane.
Right.
And I think a lot of dudes is caught up in this area. You know what I'm saying? And they don't really know what to do because they're taking in all this crappy information and, all that, whack information about, women should be this, a woman should be that. But again, there are things that the man has to do as well to make sure he gets what he wants and what he needs. And, that's just a man's role. A man truly, especially when we're talking about a traditional man, at his core, at his essence, is here to serve his family.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? A king is here to serve his people.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? A good king, a true king.
Right.
You dig what I'm saying? But again, when you got guys like Cam Newton that is the bad B of the relationship, when you got guys like Cam Newton that probably is jealous of his woman, you know what I'm saying? Like Cam has and this is why Cam is not in the NFL, because Cam, it's a lot of teams that need a starting quarterback. It's a lot of teams that definitely need backup quarterbacks. Now you got to ask yourself why they don't want to deal with Cam, because of his shenanigans, because of his ego, because of everything else that has nothing to do with the game of football. Football is the most, I would say, besides the United States military, football is one of the most selfless things you will ever get into in life. Period. I mean, you understand the pounding, pause, that football players take? Are you serious? Do you understand the dedication you got to have to being in shape, to working out, to trusting the guy beside you? And a lot of teams did the math, and they realized Cam Newton, the math ain't mathing, dog. Like a lot of teams, Cam Newton came down on the list of eligible players, and Cam Newton didn't didn't meet the
Yeah, he
requirements.
didn't make the cut. Yeah.
Nah, he didn't make the cut. So again, that's what I got an issue with. But with this culture that we in, this cultural prison in our minds that we in as black men, a lot of us, we think that we got to choose between Russell Wilson and Cam Newton. And I don't even think we got to do that. But I look at the evidence. And if you're looking at the evidence of Cam, we're looking at the evidence of Russell Wilson's life, who's more prosperous?
Russell Wilson.
But I'm not supposed to say that because Russell lame, Russell Wilson is simp, Russell Wilson all of this. But again, Russell Wilson will be playing in the fall and with a new team looking crispy. Right. Cam Newton will be home doing podcasts with us. You know what I mean? Talking about, who's traditional and who's not. To me, right. that's a step back in life, bruh.
Right.
But hey, who am I? Cam Newton is he's a young man. Like Cam Newton is younger than me. Now it's guys in the league, 38, 39, that's backup quarterbacks. Cam Newton is nowhere near that age, but nobody wants him as a backup. Now you're not gonna tell me that the book ain't out on Cam Newton. There's stuff that we don't even know about, and teams have decided we don't even want this guy because of the shenanigans.
Right.
You know what I mean? He coming to work dressed better than the women. You know what I'm saying? Like, at the end of the day, this is what it comes to. A lot of dudes put swag over substance. And then this is a black culture thing. They put swag over substance, man. 100. Swag over substance. And this is why our culture is in the dumpster. You know what I mean? And it just is what it is. Because we choose swag. And a lot of women choose swag over substance with men. Which is a lot of women's fatal mistake.
Yeah, it is.
A lot of women don't look at character, truth be told, until they've been hung over a balcony.
That's true.
Like, you ever heard the story about Vanilla Ice and Suge Knight? And Suge Knight held Vanilla Ice over a balcony? I thought it was funny. But that's a lot of women. You know what I'm saying? Like, real talk, man. Yeah. Like, they getting hung over the balcony, and a lot of women don't even look at a man's character until they really went through that situation with men, and then now they upset. But I'm like, whoa, sweetheart. You know what I mean? Somebody should have taught you. There should have been examples in your life about character. You know what I mean?
And that's the main reason why women are not looking at their character. They're looking at their appearances, trying to get it as to the tip-top shape as they can, because they're seeing that that's what men are valuing. So they're not even valuing their character. So that's a problem.
So you saying men should set the example?
Men should set the example. Men need to start choosing women based on virtue instead of how they look. But because men are choosing women,
well, looks matter. We're not gonna act like looks don't matter. But there's levels.
You know how much crap a woman that looks good can get away with to a man? A lot.
Same thing. Well, I can say the same. I can say the same thing with women. You know what I'm saying?
You're right.
I mean, look, we live in a very superficial society, right? I'm just gonna be 100. You know, in this current society that we live in this country, we attach our happiness to everything outside of ourselves.
Okay, yeah, that's true.
No, real talk.
That's true.
You know, and then we develop these false attachments. We develop, like even this false sense of happiness, because if you only happy when you buy a new watch, if you only happy when you buy a new car, if you only happy when you got on, $800-900 worth of clothes, then you already lost. Because what if I strip you of all of that tomorrow? Can you still have that same moxie and how you walk into a room? You see what I'm saying? Because, real talk, and I've talked about him before, like my homeboy Tavon, I grew up with, this was the guy I wanted to be like growing up. He wasn't a bad dressed dude, but he wasn't always dressed up every day. Like you'll catch Tavon walking down the street with some sweatpants and no shirt on, or stretched out white beater some days, because that's just, he might have been cutting the grass or something. You might just catch him walking to the store, and he would still talk to any woman that he wanted to, because that's just who he was. His happiness wasn't attached to anything outside of himself. Because I did some analyzing of, a lot of charismatic people. And, one thing that I realized about people that are very charismatic is, one, they're very comfortable in their own self. They're very comfortable in their own skin. So somebody that's comfortable in their skin wants you to be comfortable in your skin. You see what I'm saying? Like, when I got around my boy Tavon, I didn't have to be anything more than what I was. And he still loved me the same, or even more, because I did keep it real. And he always told me, yo, you good with me. Aww. You know what I mean? So, and that's why he got so much love from the people. The people voted my boy Tavon king, because at the end of the day, he ain't do nothing but operate in love, period. Right. You know what I'm saying? And that's the difference between some people and other people. And then, beyond that, he just was a very warm spirited individual. You know what I'm saying? He gonna keep it real at all times, but he's very selfless. You know what I'm saying? All of this is just emanations of love. Right. Just coming off of him. So, what love does for real. I'm all into the deep stuff, but love gives permission to just be. You know what I mean? Like when somebody truly operating in love and they got love in their heart, all they want you to do is just be you. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got to be nothing you not. You ain't got to put on. You ain't got to do all that, because how you come is how I'm going to accept you. Now, you ain't got to stay there. I'm not going to leave you there. I'm always keep it real with you, but you ain't got to lie to kick it with me. But with other people, they want you to be pretty much living a lie to make them comfortable. Right. But if a person's comfortable in their own skin, they Gucci. You see what I'm saying? Right. But anyway, moving on from that, you know what I'm saying? Back to the topic of the live stream, we're very superficial people in this society. A lot of us. Think about this, right? Think about how we discriminate with each other. Let me explain. Discrimination. Particularly in life, but in the dating scene, a lot of people discriminate because they can get everything they need from a person, but they reject it because of the package it comes in. You see what I'm saying? Right. Like, how many of us rejected a good thing because we didn't like the package? And all we do is complain, oh, women ain't this, men ain't that, all of this crap, but we not being 100% honest, because we should be saying, I want what I want in a package that I want it in. But a lot of people don't want to keep it real because they don't want to seem so superficial, but we really are. Right. You see what I'm saying? And it's to the point where, a lot of us are being just mean to each other based on the packaging. You dig? If I'm making any sense. So, makes sense. If a man isn't dressed a certain type of way sometimes, or, if a man doesn't look a certain type of way, or if a woman isn't dressed or look a certain type of way, or this, that, and the other, a lot of us are mean to one another based on the packaging. And that ain't right at all. You know what I mean? Now, you don't have to like somebody, or you don't have to invite somebody in your bedroom, but I don't think that's an invitation to be mean to them, or an invitation to, mess with anybody's self-esteem or nothing like that. But this is what's happening in society, and it's like, damn, you know what I mean? When you see how messed up it has gotten over the years, and it's causing people to display a lot of strange behaviors, man. It's causing people to live in fear. It's causing people to live in camouflage. It's causing people to veer away from the truth. about about their own selves. It's
Right.
causing people to be something that they not. It's causing people to try to live out these ideals that they have in their mind. Do you know how many dudes in the gym, and if I'm just observing, I'm just looking, that probably should be doing different workouts to complement the structure of their body, but all they want to do is lift up heavy weight to look big, and they look miserable.
Right.
Like, that's all they want to do. Like, they don't even want, a lot of dudes don't even want to look athletic no more. They just want to look big, and they look miserable, and it's not even complimenting their body type. And it's like, well, you in bondage, dog. You a prisoner because you trying to fit this ideal of what society told you a man should be. A man should look like this. And it's like, nah, we all got different body types. We all got, different genetic types. Our body respond to certain things better than others. So, a lot of people get caught up in that. And this is what's causing a lot of people to be frustrated, because you're going to get frustrated when you live in a life of contradiction, man. When in your mind, you should be living like this, but every day you wake up, you like this because society says this is what's pretty, or this is what's sexy, or this is what this, da, 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 da. You know what I'm saying? And how many people ever get to truly be them and display that true personality to people, excuse me, instead of living out these ideals? You know what I mean? And when you listen to a lot of content online, that's pretty much what it shakes up to be. This idea, oh, a man should be this, a woman should be that. A man should act like this, a woman should act like that. It's like, who's thinking for themselves?
Yeah, a man should get married, but they not married. A man should do all of this. A woman should be virtuous, but they're in the face of bad bees that aren't virtuous, because they want quick, fast.
It's a lot. Okay.
Freaky sex.
Let me take it a step further. It's a lot of people fronting, right? It's a lot of women that out here trying to act like fast women, street women. You know what I'm saying? That's really not. They really
sweethearts.
They really good girls that want some attention. You know what I mean? They probably should stay in the house, but particularly when we're young, we gotta understand that acceptance from our peers is very important for us. I'm just gonna be 100. Like, I knew when I was in school, high school, whatever, having a good pair of sneakers on your feet was very important. I'm sorry. And really, truth be told, this is the most insignificant stuff in the world, because as young men, we should have been putting our time into our books. We should have been learning about business. We should have been learning about commerce. We should have been learning about the real world. But we were so stuck in this cultural prison that says, you know what? Get your swag on, then get your books right. You know what I mean? That's the cultural prison that a lot of us was in. So, at the end of the day, a lot of us did some things we ain't had no business doing to get money for them sneakers, to get money for, no mountain gears, to get money for that Montclair and them Avorexes. That stuff costs money, man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I remember growing up, dudes was, man, you know how many dudes got robbed for their Avorexes? You know what I mean? This is square business. But that's that cultural prison that we was in. And as we get older as men and women, we realize, like, yo, the rest of the world is going this way. This cultural prison I'm stuck in is going that way. And in the real world, nobody cares about what kind of shoes you got on if you don't own nothing.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So, not to get too deep into that, but I had to bring it up because we have attached our happiness, I'm going to say it again, to everything outside of ourselves, man. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of people these days, they don't even know how to be happy without a chemical in them. Alcohol, weed, a little bit of Molly. Yeah, I mean, a little bit of Molly. I mean, stuff like that. Just a little bit. A lot of people, you know what I mean? They need chemicals in them. They need all of these stimulants to be happy. We not just happy just being who we are these days. That's not good enough because, you know, we want acceptance. We want to be liked and we want all of these things. But the problem is we search way too far outside of ourselves and we're not even in reality no more. We're not even in truth no more. We just not.
We're not in the present anymore.
None of that.
Yeah.
Like we way out here in outer space trying to find happiness when you should bring your happiness everywhere you go. It's like, why should society have to tell you, well, you know, as a woman, you ain't pretty if you don't look like, I mean, yo, man, beauty is, I know a lot of people disagree, but it really is in the eye of the beholder, man. Now, you know, I'm not going to get into all the intricate details of it, but what I'm saying is every man likes something different. Every woman likes a different look on a different man. You know what I'm saying? If we all like the same thing, it'd be everybody clamoring for, you know, 10 people. You know what I mean? That's not the case. Some guys like the girl next door look. Some guys like the bad B look. Some guys like the Jill Scott types, a little chubby. Ain't nothing wrong with that, girl. I mean, lift up them titties and giddy up. You know what I'm saying? I mean, at the end, all guys like something different. We all not chasing the same thing. Some guys like, you know what I mean, women that's natural. Some guys don't. I mean, we don't like the same things all the time. But again, you know, not to get all deep into it, but if you really pay attention, everybody want to be the same now. It's no character in the way people look. When I was coming up in the 90s, yo, particularly with women, because there's only so many haircuts a man can get or whatever, so many hairstyles a man can get, but a lot of women had character in the way they look. You had some women with the bob, you had some women with the back faded, you had some girls with the long dreads, you know what I'm saying? You had some girls with the braids like Brandy, you had some girls with the curl. I mean, like, it was character even in the way people dress. The whole look, you know what I mean? Like, you had some girls that look real cute with the itty bitty gap like Keisha Cole used to have. No, real talk, you had dark skin lights. I mean, it was character when you walked out the house, so everything was more eventful because it was flavorful. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, that's how I came up. It was just a flavorful environment. But now we got a lot of people want to look the same. And I'm not trying to, you know, issue on nobody, but what I'm saying is, how many people are truly being themselves when they do this? That's my point in it all. How many people are truly living their own truth? And that's the only way you're gonna live a prosperous life, no matter how you slice it. When you really walking in your own truth, whoever you are, you know what I mean? Like me, I grew up, I like to ride skateboards and stuff. I don't do it now. I'm too old for that. But, you know, I didn't run from that truth. Like, before you had this kind of renaissance that Lil Wayne started with the black dudes on skateboards. Like, dog, we been making our own ramps in my hood and doing certain things and, you know what I mean, tricking out our bikes and all type of stuff we was into. We wasn't into the same regular.
Right.
A lot of dudes did it when Lil Wayne did it. I'm like, that's corny. I was getting tattoos since I was like 15 years old. Like, it was only a few dudes in school with tattoos, like the hardcore, you know, dudes that went to juvie. Shout out to them. And then it was just some guys that just want to express themselves. I was getting tattoos before, you know, this became a real thing or whatever. Like, and then, you know, we seen over the years, you know, everybody got them now. And now I wish I wouldn't have got them. I was just expressing myself because I don't really want to be like everybody else. I wish I wouldn't even got a lot of tattoos. But when I was getting them, everybody wasn't getting them. Right. Dudes was coming out the house in white beaters, bare arm.
Right. Yeah. I think everybody should just be the best type that you are. If you a redhead, if you a blonde, if you a black woman, if you're whoever you are, just be.
Shout out to Yaku.
If you dark skin, light skin, whatever you are, be the best version of that type. So if a guy who likes that type, if he's looking for that type, then he's going to choose the best of that type. And you might be that person.
It is what it is, man. You know what I mean? This cultural prison, man, is deep. It's like, I remember I seen this clip on Instagram of Jeff Bezos. At that time, he was worth like $6 billion.
Mm-hmm.
And he was driving this old Honda Accord. Like, old Honda. And then the guy that was doing the interview was like, he asked him, he said, "Sir, you worth $6 billion?" And he was like, "Yeah." He was like, "What's up with the Honda?" And he was like, "Ain't nothing wrong with my Honda." Da, 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 da.
Oh, okay.
Like, $6 million. I remember when I was at Fort Bliss, and I was doing something outside, and I was walking past the Post General. I think he was a 2-star, 3-star, 2-star general.
Mm-hmm.
You know, these guys make a lot of money. You know what I mean? They're generals.
Mm-hmm.
This dude drove, you probably think I'm lying. I forgot his name, man. He drove, it looked like a 1988 Volvo. I mean, you talking about a 2-star general, you probably making me $20,000-$25,000 a month.
Damn.
And that's without the perks.
Wow.
You got all the perks, so you're probably bringing in more. This guy drove and I was just looking, and I had just bought a new car, and I'm like, but I didn't understand money. I didn't understand the real world. You see what I'm saying? So, you know, in his mind, he like, man, ain't nothing wrong with this Volvo. It's a Volvo. It's gonna last me. You know, and I'm pretty sure his wife probably drove the really nice car. And you'll see that a lot of times with, you know, older men with money or whatever. Like the wife got something real nice, but he content. That's how real money operates for real. Real money ain't loud.
Right.
Real money is so subtle, but we ain't used to money. We ain't used to shit. In Black America, we so used to the Cam Newtons of the world that we'll walk past a millionaire, and because he's in an 88 Volvo, and he can give us the most game in the world because we looking for the guy that's so fresh. We ain't used to nothing.
His pride doesn't come from his car. His pride comes from how many men that he's helping feed their family. His pride comes from his 50 employees.
Right.
That's where his pride comes from. So it's just a different mentality.
It's definitely a different mentality, and it's something that we got to let go. And it goes back to what I said about the discrimination, right? You know, we discriminating on people based on the package. So let's say that we was in civilian clothes when I was in Fort Bliss. Let's say I didn't know that was the Post General. And I just walked by him. I wouldn't have knew if he had on some jeans or something. He'd have just been another older white guy. And he went to the car. But what if he would have stopped me to try to give me some game? And I kept walking like, man, you know what I mean? You drive an old Volvo. What you know? You a janitor or something? Not understanding that that's the Post General and he can change the trajectory of my life based on his word alone. But honestly, especially where I was in my life at that time, I probably would have walked right by him and not got the game.
And that's where character comes from.
You know
How
what I'm saying?
you gonna treat him when you don't know who he is?
Yeah. So
do you say hi to janitors when they?
Most people don't.
You know,
most people don't.
Just saying, be polite.
Most people step right over a homeless person. Like let's keep it a buck. Like most people, like anytime I got some extra dollars, you know, most people don't carry around cash these days. But if I even got some change, I'll just give it to them because it's just the right thing to do. But at the end of the day, you know, we ain't never had shit and we act like it. You know what I'm saying? We ain't never had nothing and we act like it.
Right.
Straight up. And we act like it. So that's something that got to change. Just period, man. We put swag over substance. And I'm not even saying that it's nothing wrong with swag. There's nothing wrong with, you know what I mean, feeling like the man or the woman, but you know, you got to have balance. You can't have a bunch of swag like a Cam Newton and then get blown out on the football field by 25 points, but you look good in your suit. And the other quarterback on the other team, he got on the basic suit, but he go home with a victory. Mm-hmm. They playing for Super Bowls.
Right.
Tom Brady is the GOAT. 7 Super Bowls. It'll never be matched. Tom Brady don't come to work looking like a clown. He come to work looking like a professional, dog. And that's why it's 32 teams in the NFL. At this point, nobody wants Cam Newton because of the shenanigans and the clown shit, dog. And he don't understand that. Cam Newton be the first one talking about racism or something like that, because that's the type of person he is, and not understanding the shenanigans, man. Nobody wants to deal with Cam and his ego. Nobody want to deal with Cam and his man purse. Nobody want to deal with Cam and him acting like the bad bitch. Nobody want to deal with that.
And that's why our relationships suffer, because nobody are doing the, like you said, the fundamentals.
The fundamentals. You did.
Nobody cares about character, and that's unfortunate. But how do we fix that?
Oh, you want my answer? We ain't got to do a damn thing. Look, for real, I'm just gonna be honest, man. Like, I ain't trying to fix nothing that's out of my peripherals. Like, you know what I do these days? How see Boogie fix that?
How?
I got around progressive people, and then we're gonna go to wind down this podcast. We've been on for a minute. I'm around progressive people these days. I'm not around swag over substance. I'm around substance over swag these days. I'm not around bums. I'm around book authors and business owners and guys that's getting their businesses off the ground. I'm around people that's looking for funding. I'm around people with creative ideas. I took myself out of that circle. That's how we fix that.
Okay.
Because that circle always going to be there of the swag over substance. So what I did was I said, you know what? I want more for my life. I want my future to be bright. So what I got to do is I got to make myself valuable, for one, and I got to put myself around progressive people. That's it. That's how I fix that on the individual level. Now, to fix the culture in this cultural prison, look, man, that ain't going to change, because a lot of people make too much money off of the mentality of the swag over substance. That's a whole, social engineering within itself. You see what I'm saying? Like, how many Jordans they sell and all of this to broke people in the hood. That ain't never going to change. It's a whole industrial complex behind that. That's an insurmountable task. But what people can do starting tomorrow morning, you can position yourself to be around progressive people. I mean, go ahead.
And another thing.
Oh, God. It was
Yeah, this just popped up in my mind, this whole money over bees, right? That mentality alone helped develop that bad bee mentality of, okay, so since money's over bees, then I'm gonna value money over you, and get into this lifestyle of being a hoe. And because we're not valuing each other's as a human, why would you say money over bees? Like, why would you even place money over another human being?
They said money over bees they didn't say money over women is money over bees. And if I had to take a shot at it, whoever made that comment, I first heard it when Tupac said it. I don't know who said it before Pac, but I heard when Tupac said it, and at the end of the day, it's like, you got women and you got bees, right? You got, according to Cam Newton, you got traditional women and you got bad bees. And I would assume that these guys was talking about the bees of the world and not women. I don't think no men, I can't say no men, hold on. I don't think a lot of men will put down respectful, virtuous, kind, gentle women. That'll be hard for me to believe.
What do men call women in the barbershop when they're talking amongst themselves?
All right, we got to go and shut down the live. No, we got to shut down the podcast.
Please answer this.
I mean, yeah, we got potty mouths, man. You know what I'm saying? We got potty mouths.
So it's kind of like the black man. Oh, that's that N-word, so I'm not. I'm not buying that.
I see what you're saying, but you got to understand this is a cultural problem, because you're right. Black men, we call each other the N-word, but we get mad when somebody else calls it.
It's the same thing.
Women, a lot of women call each other the B word, but they get mad when a man call them that. Like, we have a cultural ignorance and dysfunction. And I'm not trying to use it as a cop-out, but I got to be honest. We have a dysfunction in our culture that says it's okay to do these things. Real talk. Because women do it too. Like, women call each other the B word all the time, but they don't want a man to call them that.
Okay, so you said that's the reasoning. They're saying that money is over women who act like B words.
That's my translation of it. That's my translation of it. You know what I'm saying? But again, you know, look, man, I can't speak for everybody. But like I say, I first heard it when Tupac said it. And, you know, Tupac loved women, but he couldn't stand the B word.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So anyway, gotcha. But we got to wind it down. So, look, shout out to everybody that's watching the podcast. The Nerve of You podcast. I'm up here with the co-host with the most. We got Rose in the building. And we're going to go ahead, man. We're going to sign it off for the day. We'll be right back tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen, with another hot topic. And it's all good, man. Same time. We on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday of this week. So make sure y'all tuned in. Hey, man, it's up. Share this live stream. Subscribe to the channel. Go to the Patreon if you want more content, extra content. And it's all good. So, hey, man, till next time, I'll see y'all tomorrow. Peace.